Today you're going to be taking the test Unit 1, Work and Scientific Investigations. Please use your strategies, take your time, and after you listen to the questions being read, place it on pause and think about each answers and bubble neatly on your Scantron. A student is helping the teacher rearrange the tables in the science classroom. The student applies a force of 30 newtons on a table. The table slides across the floor in the direction she pushes it. The teacher pushes on a larger table with a force of 50 newtons. The teacher's table does not move. How does the work done on the tables by the teacher and the student compare? Answer choice A. The teacher did more work on the table than the student. B. The student did a lot of work on the table. The teacher did a little work on the table. C. The teacher did not do any work on the table. The student did do work on the table. D. Neither the student nor the teacher did any work on the tables. Number 2, the same box is lifted to a height of 1 meter in diagrams A and in B. Which of the following is true about the work being done on these boxes? Assume that there is no friction. A. Zero work is being done in both diagrams. B. There's more work being done in diagram A. C. There is more work being done in diagram B. D. The same amount of work is being done in both diagrams. Number 3. A group of students completed an investigation of the work required to pull 3 different objects across the floor. The students measured the distance they pulled the objects and the force required to pull them. Complete the data table by calculating the work. Remember, if you need some assistance with calculations, you can there's some calculators available, or we'll maybe give you permission to use your phones. So object A, B, and C, and the distance were 5 meters, 7 meters, and 10. The force was 40 newtons, 30 newtons, or 15 newtons. Work is J, so that's where you're going to put your calculation. Remember to use your formulas. The question is, which object required the most work to pull? Is it object A, B, object B, C, object C, or D, the work was the same for all 3 objects? Number 4. 4 people were helping a friend to move out of their home. They needed to stack the boxes in the back of the truck. The graph shows the force applied to each box by a mover. The action taken by each mover is shown in this table. So there's the data for the mover. Based on the information, which mover did not do any work on a box? Was it mover W? Choice B is X. Choice C is Y. Choice D is Z. Number 5. 4 students complete different tasks during the day at school. Descriptions of the tasks they performed and the force they used are recorded in the data table below. Student W, task completed. Student uses 10 newtons of force holding his lunch tray in the lunch line. Student X, student uses 50 newtons of force holding a stack of books. Student Y, student uses 2 newtons of force lifting a book to its place on its bookshelf. Z, student uses 10 newtons of force to push a chair across the room. How does the work done by each student compare? A, student W, X, and Z did work while the student Y did not do any work. B, student Y did work while students W, X, and Z did not do any work. C, student W and X did not do any work while students Y and Z did do work. D, students W and X did the work while students Y and Z did not do any work. Please pause and take a moment to think about the question before selecting an answer. Number 6. A student is investigating the length of ramps. He finds that he can use less force to lift the same mass to the same height if he uses a longer ramp. How does the amount of work he is doing on the mass compare if he uses a shorter or a longer ramp? ignore friction? A, the amount of work using a shorter ramp is the same as using a longer ramp. D, the amount of work using a longer ramp is greater than using a shorter ramp. C, the amount of work using a longer ramp is less than a shorter ramp. D, the amount of work using a shorter ramp is greater than using a longer ramp. Number 7. Which of the following is the best scientific definition of work? Is it choice A, work is done when a force causes an object to move in the direction of the force? B, work is done whenever energy is used. C, work is done when force is applied and the energy is used. Or D, the place you go to earn money. Number 8. A man was pushing a 150-pound box up a ramp into a truck, as shown in the picture below. If the man were to lift the box straight up into the truck instead of using the ramp, what would be the difference in the amount of work done, assuming there is no friction? A, the amount of work would increase greatly. B, the amount of work would increase slightly or just a little. C, the amount of work would be the same. D, the amount of work would decrease. Please use the graph below to help you and answer your bubble sheet. Make sure you're bubbling clearly and neatly. Number 9. The graph above shows A consistent 40 newtons of force is used over the distance of 9 meters. B, a consistent 40 newtons of force is used over the distance of 10 meters. A consistent 50 newtons of force is used over the distance of 9 meters. D, a consistent 50 newtons of force is used over a distance of 10 meters. Please take your time and think about that. These problems, the answer choices are very similar. So you're looking at, is it 40 newtons or 50 newtons? And then you're looking at the distance of 9 meters or 10 meters. You're to use the graph above and show that you can read it. What is the graph telling you is the correct answer? Number 10. How long is the line on the graph in centimeters? So using the picture from number 9, please measure in centimeters and bubble that on your Scantron. Make sure that you're considering if there's a decimal place on your grid, that you're using your proper place value. If you have any questions about making sure that you've got your answer in there correctly, please ask one of the teachers to help you and make sure that you understand how to fill those graphs out on the grids. Take your time, go back through your test, make sure you've bubbled neatly, and that if you have any, like you've changed answers on anything, that you've erased the other answer completely. Please do not draw pictures on your Scantron or do anything like that, because that would cause a problem when it goes through the Scantron. It will count it as errors.